Welcome to this video in which we elaborate on Lab 4 and 5 furthermore. So actually in Lab 3 we completed the tasks up until this point. So Lab 4 started here. We did in class last time the point related to references and citations, and also we played with tables. This time for Lab 5, we're gonna deal with the rest. We're gonna check how to do spell checking, talk again about clearing formatting, insert hyperlinks, talking again about paste special, tracking the changes using comments and feedback from a supervisor or a colleague on a document, play with the view tab to be able to make nicely looking and easy to use arrangements of Word windows, and then PDF creation when your document is ready. So just one word about tables. You will be provided also with this document in which we show you how you can create a complete CV with a tabular view, which will help you organize your content in a decent way. So you notice here that we have behind the scenes a table. If I show all the borders of the table, you will understand how this document has been laid out and how you can create it by yourself. Okay, so a key point here is to be able to merge cells and split cells really as you like, so that you can easily get the same content. So this is to close the discussion about Lab 4. The video of Lab 4 shows also how to insert citations and bibliography from this menu. So let's attack the last part related to Lab 5. I'm gonna start with spell checking. You obtain this from the review menu. For whatever section of your document, you can set a different language. I can set it from this button here and on the bottom. So I can click here and obtain the list of languages. You notice here that I recently used Arabic text proofing and French text proofing. You can opt for any other language as well. So the document also, you can select your whole document and set one language for it. It's preferred whenever it's the case that your document has text with only one language. You can use this trick. From the review menu, you can pick up the language using this button. It's exactly the same effect. You can also translate words by using like double click on the word to select it, and then you can use right click to show the synonym of the word, or you can also translate it using this menu here or that menu there. You can also read any text you have out loud. I'm gonna try it right here.
List of figures.
So there is an automated reader that can actually help you
different
do this.
page numbering format for each section.
By clicking once again on the bottom. So when you have a typo, say you remove the G from this word here, Word will designate it as a misspelled word. So you can right click on it, and you can from this menu here, spelling, you can pick up the nearest actually word will show you the nearest correct word, and it's up to you to decide on which word you want to replace the incorrect typo or word. So it's quite easy to do. You have also other options in there to count the number of words, the number of characters in your document in certain projects or conference papers, they will ask you to respect a certain limit on the number of characters or words in your document, and then you can use these features here to check the size of your document in terms of number of words, characters, paragraphs, lines, and so on and so forth. As for the clear formatting, maybe you already noticed that I used it when I created this line here. So for example, imagine I want to create a new lab for this section. So I will go to Home, I will click on Clear Formatting, and then I will obtain a normal style on that line so that I can start typing from scratch a new section. Okay. So you can also use clear formatting from the styles menu. There is an eraser here to clear the formatting. It's also available for you in the complete styles menu. Really on the top you have this clear all button, so you use whatever method that fits you, and this should work fine for you. So you can use it as a rescue plan whenever you changed a certain style on a certain line, but you saved your file, maybe you even closed it, so you cannot use Ctrl-Z to undo what you did on the file, but you want to undo it anyway, so you can clear the formatting and then reapply whatever style you want. As for hyperlinks, it's actually a piece of cake. It's a quite easy thing. So imagine you want to point towards this web address here. So you can go to this but by clicking on this word. So I'm gonna type here, for example, and then we're gonna type, for example, this is a link, or maybe a clickable link. So the sentence or sequence of words that I call the clickable link, I want to really make it clickable link. So I'm gonna right click on it and then hit hyperlink, if any. If it's not available from this menu, you can go to insert and then you pick up link from here, and then you can insert a link, and you can type whatever link you want, or you can pick up whatever you copied to the clipboard recently with Ctrl+C. So if I click on this menu here, you will obtain this window, and then you can type the complete link that you copied from the internet or from another source, or you can really type it by hand, and you can say OK on the link. Automatically this text will be displayed in a bluish format, underlined format, that really designate hyperlinks to web pages. If you use Ctrl and click as shown in this tooltip, you can follow the link and you will be redirected to that specific page using the web browser that exists on your machine. Okay. So I cannot access it here just for restrictions, for privacy restrictions in my office. So what about Paste Special? So Paste Special is this menu here. We already saw it when we actually filled in the cover page. You still remember maybe that when we wanted to replace the text that exists here and by a text that we copied from a normal text or an unformatted text, say I'm gonna copy this part here and I wanted to replace this text there, so I can put a Ctrl+V. You notice that the format will be changed, so I can use this paste option or paste special options to say I want to keep the text only and I want to merge with the currently used formatting on this page. Okay, so I can use Ctrl+Z to get back to the original state, and know that also you can use the paste special option from the beginning to do this. Otherwise, you have also the paste special menu where you can paste a piece of text or an image or whatever source let's say a text coming from Excel, you can, or from a web page, you can insert it as an HTML formatted content, rich content, or as an unformatted text, just to make sure that the text won't keep its original formatting, but actually it will be pasted as a raw text so that you can format it by hand yourself in order to obtain a homogeneous styling and formatting in your document. This has plenty of benefits actually, and it's often useful when you copy from a different software. As for tracking changes and reviewing a document, so please note that in the review menu, there is plenty of tools here to be able to review a document, send comments and feedback to the author or authors of a document in order to collaborate on them. It may happen between two students collaborating on the same project. It may happen between the supervisor and these students, or between supervisors and colleagues, co-workers working on the same document. So imagine that I received this document by email, and imagine that this word here, track changes, I do not like it. I want to replace it by the fact that it actually track changes is just one part of the review process. So I can add a comment here and say for Dr. Salim, so dear Dr. Salim, please use the word, the term review, since track changes is just a part of it. You notice here that when Dr. Salim will open the document, he can mark this comment as resolved if he really accepts my suggestion and replaces the text conveniently. If he wants to negotiate or discuss this issue with me, he can reply, and then I will receive in the next version the comment of Dr. Salim, and so on and so forth. I can also suggest changes manually by hand so that he can directly see them. So imagine that I want to add a couple of words here, but I want my colleague to notice their existence. So if I simply add them in this mode, so accept, I'm going to remove and add here and accept all. Okay, so if I add it in this way, maybe he will go through the new version of the document, and even he reads the comment right here, he won't notice that I changed a tiny part in the document. So instead of doing this silently, I can ask Word to track the changes. I'm gonna click on this button, and then I'm gonna do these changes, and you will notice the differences in a few minutes. So and accept all. So first of all, you notice that there is a red button here or red marker here. So Dr. Salim will notice that there is something special on this line. He would click on it, and then he would see all the comments on one hand and the changes that have been made. He will notice that this and a word conjunction has been deleted, that this comma has been added, and that this part here has been also added to the document. So I can stop tracking the changes and correct whatever part. Say, for example, I want to replace this long dash by a tiny dash, so I can do it silently without Salim even noticing it, because I don't want to make a story out of it. At any moment, you can see all the markup, or you can go to simple markup. The simple markup, it means you only see these tiny markers, to the left. You can go to the original text. So at any moment, we can check how the text was and how it is currently. So the original was only accept and reject, as you may see here, while the final version has accept, reject, and accept all. Okay. By the way, these tasks here, accept, reject, and accept all, are related to these menus here. So for whatever change you have, for example, I can ask Word to show me the next change. So the next change is this comment here. I can say accept to that comment. This won't remove the comment, but simply won't make it as resolved. The next change is the suppression or deletion of this text here, the end. Then I can either reject it or accept it. I can switch to the next, which is the addition of the comma. The next one is the addition of this text here and accept all. So actually, if I'm satisfied with the final version, I can say accept all changes. I'm gonna do it by the way. So imagine that I'm playing the role of Salim right now. I'm gonna say accept all. This will make remove all the marks and will make the text in black once again, integrated with the text with no markers on it. So in this case, I can start reviewing a newer version and building on top of it instead of accumulating the changes without deciding on them. So this is the part related to the review process. You can check furthermore on the help of Word, but I think these parts, what we talked about so far, are the main parts. Let's check what we can do with the view window. Actually, in the view menu, sorry, we can create really nice looking. So I'm going to also delete this command or resolve it. We can create nicely looking views. For example, I can ask Word to show me all the pages side by side, and notice that when I'm scrolling with the wheels, the wheel of my mouse, I can easily switch between the pages and see how they will look like when printed out. Okay, I can at any moment go to the vertical display, the normal display. Sometimes I want to change some things here, and I want to see if also I want to copy or write some parts here according to the text that exists on the first page. So I can ask Word to split the window so that I can, for example, if I'm typing here, adding a page number at the first page, but I want to really see how the first page or how the first pages are numbered. So I can switch on the split view of my document, say this one here on the bottom, and see that the page number is Roman page number. So, and it's actually on the second page. So I can say adding a Roman page numbering at the second page. So this will actually easy my task and help me complete the list here without moving all the time throughout the document. Okay. So at any moment you can remove the split and go back to your document. Finally, you have only one document. When you hit save, it saves only one copy of your document. It's just a visual copy of your document. It's not an actual copy in a different file. What we can also do with Word is to when you split when I can create a new window, complete a new window of the same Lab04. You notice that I can move in this window up to this to these formulas here, and I can keep on my text there. It's the same idea of the split, except that you can, when you create a new window, you can view the windows side by side. So in this case, it's really nice. And if I would like to, I can, from the view window, I can, actually it's by default selected, I can synchronously scroll through both documents so that when I go up and down, I can see both documents. I see very well how this can be quite useful. For example, if I have two different pages with two different, say, graphs or images on them, and then I want to edit or two different tables, and then I just want to fill in with respect to the other, or edit one image with respect to the other, I can easily do this by creating a new window and showing two different pages on each window, and then scrolling up and down at the same time. So when you want to go out of this mode, you can click once again on the side-by-side button. The two windows will go full screen, and then you can close whatever window out of the two, and then this will keep your only one single window of your document, and you go back to the normal editing mode. You can explore other functionalities and options from the view window here, and I'm quite sure this will make your life easier. Last but not least, to create a PDF with bookmarks, I mean with the table of contents having the entries clickable, you can save the document. You ask to save as a PDF. You click on More Options to have this pop-up window in which you click once again on Options, and you can actually save the document or the document with the markup. You remember the markups that we created with the comments and with the review process. And to add the bookmarks, to activate the bookmarks, I can click on this button here, but it's actually already done and the headings are selected. So you will notice that if I hit save, this will create the same file name, but in PDF format. And if I open it, so actually this saving process is still in progress. I can double click on the file to open it, and you will notice that my table of contents and table of figures are actually hyperlinks or bookmarks, so that when I click on this link here, I will go straight forward to the corresponding section. I can hit Alt and the left arrow to go back to the table of content. I can click on this figure here, on that figure, and this will normally get me to the corresponding figure. Well, actually, it's not working the same way on figures. It's not a big deal, so we can see it at least on the various numbering levels and title levels. This is very nice so that we can quickly review the document, as you may notice, like without scrolling up and down throughout the whole document at once. So this is the last point. I think we close the discussion of the functionality of Word with this video, and we shall talk very soon about how to edit documents, text documents in Google Docs. So stay tuned. Thank you.